Hello there, Ian here once again, and I hope that I'm catching you happy, healthy and strong. Here we are in January at almost the start of the calendar year. We're a couple of weeks through January already, and it's a great time of the year to look forward at the possibilities that the calendar year can bring. I know that time just flows, it's a constant flow for us here on earth, and we've chosen to measure it a certain way, but it's a nice convenient way to set up goals and things that we can achieve over the next 12 months. If you haven't taken the opportunity to set some goals, I encourage you to do so, simply because for us human beings, I think it's a healthy thing to do. It would be a shame, in my view, to simply drift and accept what life and others in the universe chooses to reward us with. I encourage anybody to live a life achieving what they really want to achieve. So we look back at our history, our personal history, and we're proud of what we've achieved. So I encourage you to set up some goals that really inspire you and get you towards what you really want. Having said that, once we've set our goals, what is my sort of one master tip, one master stroke that I think we can take or implement to give us one of the best chances of achieving our goals? So, setting goals is well documented. There are books and online tutorials that can help you setting your goals. But once you've set them, we need to understand some basic information to help us to get there. We need to know what the goal is. We need to know why we want to achieve that goal, why it's important, what would happen if we don't achieve it. We need to know what we need to do to achieve the goal. So what do the members of the team, if you're running with a team, what do they need to do? What do you need to do? What are the steps involved to achieve the goal? And then how do you measure your progress towards it? So we need to do all of those things to give us a really good chance of achieving our goal. But there's one thing that we must make sure of to give us the optimal chance, in my view. Let me just take you through a personal experience, and I'm sure that you might be able to relate to this in some way. And by the way, I've said in many videos previous to this that I've made countless mistakes, both as a manager and as an entrepreneur. So I've been guilty of this too. I've set the goal, sat down, and the process of setting a goal, mind you, is often very useful. We look at where we are now, what we want to achieve, why that's important, what are the constraints, what are going to interrupt us on that journey, and we've communicated that to our team, and we felt very good about it. We felt truly inspired about the possibilities that achieving that goal will bring. And I'm sure that you may have had the same experience. But then in my experience, what I've then done is often failed to achieve that goal. And one of the major mistakes that I've made is that goal then, and the description of it then, sits on a document on my computer, or inside a book on a shelf, or in a drawer somewhere, and I frequently fail to achieve that goal. So you can probably guess what I'm moving towards, and the master key, the master tip, in my view, that can help us achieve our goal is summed up in one word, and that is visibility. My mistake in the past has been that nice, well-engineered, well-constructed goal has not been visible to me and the team on a regular, frequent basis. And if it's an important goal, I think we need to be reminded of that every day. Now, it can be any number of places. It can be on the wall where it can be seen by you and your teammates. It can be on a computer screen, on the desktop, if you like. of people's computers, it can be pictures, it can be on a picture on your desk or your place of work, wherever that, it can be on the bathroom mirror that you see at least twice a day, more often than not, once in the morning and once before you go to bed. Wherever that is, visibility is the key. Now, we've heard stories of performers and actors having visual representations of what they want to achieve and ultimately often achieving that, or at least something very close to what they have made visible. So yes, we need to understand what it is, why it's important, the metrics, the tasks, and all those other elements. But if we don't make it visible, I think we're missing a vital key to help us. So, whatever you're doing, it doesn't have to be pretty and elegant on fancy screens somewhere. It can be a whiteboard, it can be a piece of paper that you draw on every day, but make it visible. Now, there's one thing that is probably in your mind right now thinking, okay, but we're in the grips of a global pandemic and many of us are not allowed to come to the office. We can't congregate in the numbers that we used to be able to in our offices and factories. Many of us are working away from one another at home remotely. We can still make things visible. We have meetings on video, we share documents, we still can make every effort in our own environments to make our goals visible. Wherever we're working, at home or at other places, we can make that visible. When we open the bag, it's the first thing that we see. When we sit down at a desk, whether that's in the bedroom, the living room, or an office, we have a picture that we can see every day. And as leaders or custodians or stewards of that goal, we can make sure that updates are sent to our team regularly as daily, preferably, daily reminders of where we are in the pursuit of that goal. There's lots that we can still do to make it visible, even though we can't come into contact in quite the same way at the moment that we used to. So I really hope that that did make sense. Here we are at the beginning of the year. I hope you've set some goals. I encourage you to do so. But once you've done that, do whatever you can to make it visible. And I think you'll be well on the way to achieving your goal. I wish you success in the 12 months that stretch out ahead of you, or 11 and a half months that stretch out ahead of us. I wish you the very best in achieving your goals, and I look forward to sharing with you again soon.